it'll come to the same place. I mean, it lands right in my lap. I get all the emails.
Well,
We
the
are
ones we get
watching.
to the show,
We're
though, you
watching the
typically don't ever
Eugene
read, so I would
live
maybe
stream
send them
right
to
now.
the other one,
Yeah,
George.
we're watching Eugene.
We
Oh,
saw it
I'm
on
good, 'cause
YouTube.
I got 'em all now.
And how do you
I-
not
I-
click
I
on a
switched over
Eugene
my
live
phone.
stream?
I didn't have
Yeah,
the
what?
proper notifications around.
Hello, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Welcome to Burning Hammer Wrestling.
I'm back.
He's back.
I didn't leave.
Yeah, last week we had a fill in, and he's also here today.
Yeah, what up, brother?
What's up, guys?
It's good. The full squad in the house
Yep.
today.
This
As I mentioned when I was on filling in, and I've mentioned to both of you guys, Royal Rumble is when I dial in. So I was
And
like,
we're
that'd be the
in
perfect
Royal
time
Rumble
for me to
season.
make
It's literally
another
this weekend.
appearance, and perfect timing. So happy to be here.
You
I
gonna
appreciate
be
it.
over for it this
Yeah.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yep.
I don't know what I'm
Perfect.
doing Saturday. I have no idea, but
If you're not doing anything, come to Chrissy's. We're gonna cook and stuff. We always
Yeah.
go hard.
I
Yeah.
can look into it, see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring a big old
No big
pitcher
deal.
full of Tang.
It's her. She's doing.
Yeah.
It's like for her birthday too.
It's
She's
also
doing.
BFAM's
She's
birthday
doing.
weekend.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. They're gonna do pizza and stuff like that.
It's everybody's birthday.
It's not mine, and I
It's
believe
also
you
not
mentioned
mine.
it's not yours. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're 0 for 2 on that one.
Yeah.
It's also
yeah.
not your birthday.
Pretty sure it's definitely not Stace's. Hers is right by
All right.
mine.
Well,
so.
mine's coming
Look,
up.
close enough though. It's more than one. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So a couple things real quick. Number one, go to w.gg
Oh yeah.
and use our promo code. You get 10% off, and you support the show. So do that.
For sure.
Also, so Showdown Swap is a thing we do on every show.
Yeah.
And what we do is
Try
we
to.
give each other matches, and then we come back the next episode and talk about them.
Yep.
It's taking a lot of podcast time
It is.
to do that. So we're going to launch that as a separate show and do
Yeah.
it ourselves on our own time and put it on the YouTube channel. So it'll still
It's
be a
gonna be
thing.
cool.
And
I'm actually excited. I think
That's
that
dope.
what we're gonna do with it now
It's-
is gonna be better across
it's
the
a
board.
better way to do it because
More stuff to put out.
yeah,
Yep.
you put more stuff out and we have more time on the show to talk about current
Yep.
stuff. Which
And
is,
more time to talk about the matches if we want. Because we'll be doing
Right,
it at home.
right.
And yeah, that's gonna be good.
and it's like a free time thing. I just
Yep.
want to make sure,
Yep.
like, because it's easier to commit to it when you know you're going to talk about it on the show.
Yep.
But when it's like its own thing, it's going to be like I need to make time for it myself. You know,
Yes.
that's the
Yep.
thing.
But it should be easier too.
Yeah.
Easier to do when you're just home chilling.
Yeah.
You know.
So like, the big thing with that is we get to talk about current events a lot.
Whole
more.
show. Yeah.
And that's important, I think.
I
Because
think so.
that's really because that's what everybody's watching. You know,
Yep.
like
That's what people
that's what you want to talk
and
about.
that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah, of
We're
course.
watching right now, so
So like my notes are just mostly Showdown Swap here, but then I have I got a lot of shit from SmackDown a couple weeks ago.
oh yeah,
That was really good. One thing, Charlotte's coming back,
for sure.
so
Yep.
that's
100% confirmed.
gonna be
About
cool
time.
for the Rumble.
Cannot wait, dude. She's one of the best ever.
That's gonna be a cool shake
I
up
might
there.
cry. I might actually cry. I've been asking where Charlotte's been for months now.
Yeah.
Literally
Yep.
months.
Dude,
We won't even be
she's
talking
so
about
good.
wrestling. We'll be sitting there. We'll be sitting there talking about literally anything else, and I'll just be like, "Where's Charlotte, man?"
And it's a bummer because I get what they're doing by announcing that she's coming back. They shouldn't have done that. Because if you could, dude, the pop you would have got for a surprise
See, I know.
Charlotte return.
That is one thing that's weird is like,
But they're gonna get a huge pop no matter what because she's one of the Mount Rushmore women.
well, it seems like so like they did the same thing with Penta, and it was like, why did we announce this? Like,
Yeah.
it
Well,
felt like it didn't need to be.
It didn't need to be, and that's odd to me that they did that too. But then look at what we got, though. You know,
Dude,
he had one of the best
That's fair.
debuts, legit
Mhm.
ever.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know.
In a great second match too.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's
Unbelievable.
Good luck keeping him from main event circles.
Yeah,
It's one of
he's
those
already my
things-
favorite guy on the roster.
I didn't think that it necessarily had to be kept a secret.
No.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
but
No,
it's
I'm
fine.
with you. I'm with you.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, I just don't want him to make a habit of like,
I don't spoil
Telling us
every single
everything.
guy coming back.
yeah,
Like if Charlotte comes back in the Rumble,
that's the point of the Rumble.
right? If Charlotte comes back in the Rumble, cool. Have Becky come back too, and no one knew it. Swerve the audience. They're expecting Charlotte. You told them to.
Yeah.
They didn't think Becky was coming. How
Well,
nasty would that be?
there's
And
gonna
they were
be-
super feud too, so they would just have Becky come back from Rumble, and her and Charlotte stare down in the middle of the ring.
There's going to be a lot
I
more
didn't
returns
see
than
any
Oh, yeah.
rumors for the men's Royal Rumble, but I saw a lot of rumors. For
I
the
only
women's
have
Royal
one.
Rumble.
Joe Hendry. He
Yeah.
better be there.
I saw that Mickey James may or may not be making an appearance,
Oh.
which I thought
It's-
was hilarious. 'Cause I said that as a joke once,
They haven't
like a couple weeks ago.
They
Yeah.
haven't confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure we know Jordan Grace is done at TNA, and there's just no chance she's not a main eventer in WWE.
Mhm.
Just whenever she wants it,
Yeah,
she's too good. She's been carrying TNA.
I think I
Well,
would really
now
like to
she's not.
see Nick
Now they're
Nemeth.
doing great. But
I would like to see Nick Nemeth.
how
show
cool
up.
would that be?
That'd be great.
That'd be
Or just have
crazy.
him be Ziggler.
Who's he friends with in WWE? Cody? No, Miz. Right? He's like best friends with Miz.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, something
Have
like
him
that.
do somebody dirty in the ring like that. Have him come out and fuck with Miz or something.
Yeah, I don't see. There's not really a harm
Here's
in
the
it because you have 30 guys. They've already announced like a good chunk of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Punk and oh man, that's
So I'm wondering how many, like, what percentage of the rest of them is like, because there's surprises and then there's like surprises,
yeah.
right? Like
Right.
there's guys that are surprise entrants, but then there's like
Yeah,
if,
there's
if Nick Nemeth shows
surprises.
up, that's
There's
a different thing.
perfect way to put it. There's surprises, and those are your like Tatanka, where
Yeah,
we just
yeah.
geek and go, why?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. The
Or like the
boogeyman.
boogeyman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boogeyman is the all-time. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Both at
there's
the same time.
guys.
That's what I'm right now.
And then there's your Nick Nemeth or your fucking Cody or
Yeah.
like AJ Styles when he came out.
And the
shit.
cool thing is, like, my thing is, I want him to come back as the WWE character, but it's like, what's that
I
look like?
don't.
It's such a weird,
It's a-
foggy middle ground there.
The thing is he spent so long shackled by that. The best thing
Fair.
you could do is have
Fair.
him come back as Nick Nemeth and go and present. I'm never doing that shit again. You're
Yeah.
looking at a world champion guy only.
Yeah.
Period.
I would
Yeah,
love that,
that's
even
fair.
though I do love Dolph.
I love
I love
Dolph
Dolph
too.
Ziggler.
I love Dolph Ziggler.
I got to see him in
But-
person.
It's like Cody. When Cody left, he had to fully reinvent himself. Now, given he came back and still used the same name, sure. But he
Yeah.
reinvented himself in a big way before he came back. And that's what Nick is doing.
Right.
I mean,
You're getting not his character now. Which
yes. Yeah. Which even if you call him Dolph Ziggler when he comes back,
I'm going to.
as
so.
long as as long as he's still the new version of himself, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know?
I just love his entrance.
Yeah.
Oh, and his music.
That's the big
That's
thing
true.
is I think the
Yeah.
music would like
The
hugely pop people.
Oh, if we hear, dude, if Ziggler comes out at the Rumble to that music,
I will
though,
cry.
the crowd's gonna go nuclear crazy
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
dude.
I'm just gonna cry at anybody, really.
That's
the
biggest
That's what I
thing.
love about the Rumble.
Yeah.
That's where I.
You
Yeah.
know who I want to come out in the Rumble? There better be at least two. What the fuck were they thinking? Joke. Why entrances?
Chavo Guerrero.
No, not Chavo. He's cool. I'm talking like fucking like Tajiri or some shit where you just go, why? Like
Yeah.
no disrespect to Tajiri. Other than that, Noodle says he's a favorite wrestler. Fuck you, Noodle. Fuck off. Fuck yourself.
I
No,
can't
but-
escape him. I can't escape him.
No, I can't either, brother. I can't either. But no, no, Tajiri might not even be the right move. But somebody like Tatanka, where
Was
they're
Tajiri
just
the guy
too
that
old.
Did the green ink.
Yeah,
The
see,
poison.
Tajiri's sick. though.
Tajiri's sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
San-
he's sick.
San-
The
Santino
poison
Mora-
mist.
I
yeah.
bet he could still go too.
Yeah.
Dude, he was underrated.
Yeah, he was.
He
Well,
was.
yeah, he was. Yeah.
Big time.
I
Big
saw
time.
Triple H and Tajiri. There was a
In
match
Japan.
that was
and they main evented something that was nasty.
yeah, it was
too.
absolutely
Dude,
disgusting.
Tajiri just didn't get the like the presence that he could have had in the States.
Yeah.
It was just a different time. Now it's like,
Well, there was a
with
lot of
guys like-
competition. you
sure,
know?
true, but there is now, and we still got guys like Shinsuke.
Yeah. So we got Charlotte Flair coming back.
Absolutely.
Rey Mysterio was a big part of SmackDown a couple weeks ago.
Dude,
Yeah.
he
That was
went off.
interesting. Yeah. It's weird that they kind of like just made it. I liked it, and I also liked the one this week. I think it was he had a match with Xavier,
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes.
and like his
yeah, because
Xavier's
he
family
stepped to
shows up
them
late and
and
shit.
told them that they were fucking douches.
Yeah,
He was like, "Dude,
was awesome.
Get the fuck out of the locker room. Like, you guys are being scum. Bye."
yeah,
You know,
That was awesome.
I thought that was cool.
and good. Dude, the shit they're doing.
I
with
like
the New
that
Day.
they're making. I like that they're putting Ray in some of these storylines. I don't
Yeah,
know how much
use 'em.
longer this guy can go.
I don't know.
It's so
either.
crazy though, because he doesn't look like he's slowing down.
He kind of looks like he's god tier right
Yeah.
now.
The scariest thing about Ray is especially awesome because we watch with people that aren't familiar with a lot of wrestlers, especially guys like Ray that's been around for a long time.
Yeah,
So it's almost like
It's a nice mix.
it's a nice mix, but also he hasn't skipped a beat or missed
No.
a beat or
Oh,
whatever.
they're still seeing Ray.
They're still exactly
Yeah.
exactly. They're
Yep.
still seeing like
and that's funny. Like
Peak
when you talk
Ray.
about like Christy, right? Who's a dear friend of ours, literally family of yours, and she started watching with us a few years ago.
Mhm.
And so like it's funny when like there's been people that have come out that we've had to be like, okay, and she'll be like, why'd this guy get a huge pop? And then we'll go into some lore and teach her
Right.
stuff, and then now she knows, and she'll go
Mhm.
back and watch stuff, and that's cool. With Ray, you don't have to do it because
yeah.
everybody knows.
he's gonna fucking show you
Yeah.
why everyone's treating
Everybody
him like
knows
that.
who Rey Mysterio is.
Yep,
And-
everybody treats him the same way, like he's a
but
god.
he's been around for so long, as long
Yeah.
as I can remember. I mean,
And
I
he's
was a
one of
kid.
the most universally respected wrestlers ever. Even when
Yeah.
The Undertaker is talking about you being a potential Mount Rushmore and shit, I think you're one of the most respected guys ever.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid when I first started watching. It's like
Same,
that's
yeah. Same.
crazy. That's
And,
crazy.
and he looked like he was 12.
Yeah,
And he was having, like, dude,
that's more than 30 years. So
the WCW Cruiserweight division run
he's
is
he's-
just.
He seems like one of those guys too that he's on that short list of wrestlers where he was able to kind of leave and come back without
Oh, yeah.
without
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
ill will at all.
Speaking, which I'm
Well,
glad you said
it's
that,
not even
ties
that,
right
it-
back to Royal Rumble. He
Yeah.
has one of the best Royal Rumble returns of all time.
Didn't he come in at 2 and then 1, right?
No. I'm talking about after he left for years.
Yeah.
He came
I see
back
what you mean.
at, I don't know what number he was, but like a lot of people remember when he came out at 30 one time during the
Yeah,
Daniel Bryan
yeah.
shit, and everyone booed him, and it was like, fuck that, Ray's
Yeah.
the man. And he left for a bit, and then when he came back, he got one of the best reactions ever.
well, it's because you don't forget Rey Mysterio, so it's like he
Never,
can
no
be
way.
absent for a couple of years, and he's
Yeah.
just no one really even realizes
and then
it. 'Cause-
he's got great music for it too, because it's like heavy and slams.
yeah,
And it just slammed right in, and the crowd was like, "Whoa!"
yeah, it was like it's so cool.
Huge
Then
pop.
you jump out of the floor and shit, dude. That was crazy.
back in the day, dude.
Yeah.
His SmackDown debut was incredible.
hmm
Every day, his WCW debut, everyone tells stories about
Yeah,
how they were like, "Who's this dude?" And I think it was with like Malenko
Well,
or something.
there's a lot of luchadors, and it's like
Yeah,
there's only some luchadors that are can carve that
there's
path.
a handful of guys that are on a level of a Ray. I don't know
Yeah.
if there's anybody on a level of Ray, but there's a handful of guys that could ever even be in the discussion.
But he's been working with
You know what I mean?
Owens and fucking the New Day, and that's like really good.
yeah,
The one thing I
yep.
wish that the LWO is weird because like they don't. It doesn't seem like they do anything with the LWO. It just exists.
Yeah, I hear you.
And I really wish like Zelina Vega would get some kind of a solo push.
People are so nervous that they're gonna try to put Penta in that shit. I don't think they're
That's
gonna.
not
I
gonna
don't think
happen.
that's even remotely
No.
part of their idea.
No,
He's too much of his own character. He's
Yeah.
too well developed.
that's not a good idea.
It's
And
not. I
it's
just
gonna
don't even
happen anyway.
see that being on their mind.
No,
You know.
I didn't even think about it.
No.
And then
He
when I
just
did,
so
I was like, that's
obviously
so
doesn't
stupid.
fit in that.
No, yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And that's not that there's anything wrong with LWO.
No,
other
but it's
than-
not the same vibe. Just because
No, not
they're
at
just
all.
like basically discriminating and being like, he's a luchador, so put him there.
Yeah, and
It's
I
like
don't
such
think
a
that was
stupid-
even remotely the intent with LWO anyways. Like this version of it, so not. It's so clearly,
It just seems like a stupid way to pigeonhole him into.
yeah, and that would be not wise.
I
Not
don't think
wise
so.
at all.
I just wish they would do more with it. That's all.
Yeah.
it's just like a faction that exists, and
And they were doing a lot with it at one point,
yeah,
and it seems like now they're doing they're just kind of doing less with them a little bit.
yeah, it's weird.
And it's on one side of it, it's like I get it because
There's a lot of guys that need screen time right now.
yeah, and that's what I was getting at. Is I get it because there's just a lot of dudes, and you got to make time for stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. I mean, I just thought it was cool. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like a different kind of shake up. And the one thing I like is they're like giving you different looks every week.
Yeah.
So like, so it's like there's a lot of storylines going on, but they don't have to show you that storyline every week.
That's
They
right.
can skip a week and say, here's something else that's going on.
Yeah.
And and that's the only way to manage it when your roster's as good as it is.
It
It is a really good roster. People
It's
don't talk enough
deep
about
and
that.
stacked as hell. That's
'Cause,
why
like-
a lot of people are going to NXT on purpose now,
Yeah.
not as like developmental,
Mhm.
to just be in on stories there because it's more TV time.
Yep.
That NXT's on cable.
Yeah.
That's
Which
crazy.
is
Because it's like,
crazy to think
what
And
do you
it's
do?
killing.
crazy.
Now
Think
you
about.
need like a third fucking show, like a
And
third flagship
They
show.
needed it because NXT's that good.
Yeah.
You know?
And there's so much going on that it can all, blend in with NXT too. When you can
Yeah.
start something in NXT, like if you can if you can have a storyline that starts in NXT and then carries over,
Yeah.
that's what you want.
Yeah. Which they've been doing some of. Like they had The Rock on NXT and stuff,
Yeah.
and he was interacting with people, and they've had dudes from NXT come up to do things. And a lot of people are saying that they think there's probably going to be some NXT guys in the Rumble. I would not be surprised to see more than a few TNA guys as well, because they
Yeah.
just signed that legit unprecedented deal. We've never seen anything like that, not in my lifetime. A
Yeah, that-
multi-year
That I never would have
partnership
thought what I
between
would see.
WWE and TNA.
Yeah.
That's
Never,
really awesome. That's
never in a
really
million
awesome.
years did I think I was going to see that.
No.
That's a big deal. That's
Yeah.
a big deal for TNA, obviously, massively.
Yeah.
That could not be bigger, but that's a big deal for WWE too. And it just goes to show that WWE is so committed to the idea that they are not how it used to be. They're like, no,
Right.
we're about the business.
And I think it's gonna help boost TNA, which is big.
big time. And they deserve it. It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Yeah, I agree with that. I had way too many SmackDown notes, and I'm not gonna get through all of it.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Raw. So we had Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think you could have that be a main event, or not a main event. I think you could have that be a WrestleMania match.
Owens and Zayn.
Why not?
That's a dream. That's
It's
probably one
always-
of their
it's
dream
al-
matches.
It
too.
always works. Zayn and Owens is always. It's just like
When
those
is it-
guys.
when has it not worked ever?
Those
Since
two,
the
like,
Indies.
Those
I'm
two
surprised
together, it's like
they've never had a Mania match together.
I don't think they
One-on-one, I
have.
don't think they
I
have.
don't think they
That's-
have.
Yeah, I don't think they have, which is bonkers to me. They're
That's-
both so good.
but it just seems to make a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I feel like, as far as Owens goes, what do you think's going to happen at Rumble?
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot. Like number one, first of all, the match with Cody is the ladder match, right?
Yeah. for the
So,
winged eagle.
it's
Like,
like a
I
winged
hope
eagle-
that's what they do, though. I
What,
hope
like
they
a
use
unification thing.
I hope they use it to unify, and now the winged eagle becomes the new WWE title again, instead of using that old generic W bullshit. It seems like that's the move. They built a new winged eagle that has the
Yeah.
modern logo on it, but it's like the winged eagle. I think that's what they're going to do, man. The same way they did for the world title.
It's possible because
You just have to.
it's
You
like
just have to.
why build it and let Owens just like hold it.
Yeah, everybody wants this too. Fuck
Yeah.
that stupid WWE title.
I always like the fake champion shit like storyline where like they're just like I'm the real champ and they
and
have
this
a
is such
fucking
a
other
dude,
belt.
Saturday night's main event, not to hop around events a ton, but the
Yeah.
one that just happened last week, right? They did the contract signing. Or that's what it was, right? It was a contract signing, Cody and Owens, and they had Shawn Michaels there. That is so perfect because obviously, like the history of Shawn Michaels in the ladder match, like
Yeah.
everybody kind of agrees he either had the first or one of the first with Bret Hart untelevised.
Yeah.
And then he had the first WWE televised one with Razor, which is considered one of the greatest ladder matches ever. And that match was to unify because Shawn had the IC title and left, and then Razor won the IC title, and then Shawn came back. I think he was like injured or something, right? And then he came back, and they were like fighting over who was the real champ. And then it was won by Razor, who has the famous picture of him on the ladder
Mhm.
doing his taunt with the two
Yeah, yeah,
belts or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I don't know, dude. I just fucking love ladder matches in general.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like, and I think Kevin Owens has been so fucking hot lately that it's like putting him in a ladder match with Cody is fucking just a
It's
genius
so
fucking
sick.
move.
So sick.
All right, hold on 1 second. We're gonna pause.
But
All right,
then-
we're back. That was weird. I don't know. We were getting
Yeah.
like an audio delay or
Technical
something.
difficulties of some kind.
I did it.
Should
It
be
was all
good.
me. It was all me. I did it again.
You just turn it off, turn it back on, and it fixes it.
Yep.
It wasn't me. It
Sounds
was
about
me.
right.
I didn't
God.
fix it. I broke it.
I don't know. It was weird. I was getting like a echo and a delay, and it was fucking everything was going crazy, dude. All right. Yeah, I don't know what. Oh, we were just talking about ladder matches. So it's like,
Google it.
um,
Where we were doing our how Shawn Michaels and Razor, the ladder match there
Yeah.
Yeah.
with the iconic photo.
Yep. Yep. And Razor standing there, doing the thing. But
Yeah.
it was that's why it was so cool having Shawn come out and
I
do that.
I just love ladder matches, dude.
Yeah,
Everything
me
about
too.
them, like it's so cool. Like you know what's also cool that I noticed that Motor City Machine Guns was doing is because for some reason I chained those thoughts. Like in a ladder match, there's a lot of a guy climbing the ladder and then a guy pulling him down, or like stopping him or whatever at the last
it's
second.
very common.
One thing I think that I noticed this the last couple matches that Motor City Machine Guns have had. There'll be a pin, and then it's like this orchestrated thing that doesn't always happen in matches, but they've made it like a thing that they do every time, where like the opponent is outside the ring, one teammate's getting a pin, like covering the opponent, and then the other slides and stops the opponent from sliding back in the ring.
That's because
to break
they're
the pin.
a nasty.
Yeah. It's
tag
all
team.
like, and it makes it so much more like
It's
believable.
called tag team logic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Logic.
And
Dude,
that's, I don't know if I
They're
explained
nasty.
that right, but
they
I know
are
you know
so
what I'm talking about.
good.
They're
They're
nasty.
so good, dude.
Yeah.
I love them.
Yeah, that
They're
was really,
so good.
it's just a like small thing that you notice that you're like,
Yeah.
wow, they're on another level.
On
as far
another
as tag
level,
team
bro.
wrestling
Yes, they are. And I love that they're getting to work with such good tag teams, like the
Yeah.
best tag teams we've got. You know what I mean? And I love that Ciampa and Gargano are a tag team because they're a god tier tag team
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, like I think the tag team division's good. I just think that
And
we need.
do you remember when we were talking about it, Cohen? We need something, but like you can tell they're trying to make it matter, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can tell they're trying to make it matter. They've done a lot of good work in, progressing that, and I think they can go even further for sure.
yeah.
Definitely, but it's been better for sure.
It has.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely has been
Motor
running.
City Machine Guns.
They put a
are
rocket
good
under that
idea,
division.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been enjoying that. Honestly, there's like a lot of titles right now.
There is.
So like there's titles everywhere.
There's titles
There's
everywhere.
like 4 women's titles. Then you got the there's a women's tag title.
There's a women's tag title. There's the women's world and women's WWE. And then now they have the women's intercontinental in US, which I think they needed.
It's so many belts.
It is, but it's equal to what they have in the men's. They're
Yeah.
matched.
Yeah.
You know?
I was shocked that it took this long to get the U.S. women's title.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they were just worried about how, like, is our roster deep enough to be able to support
That was
all
a big
of these
problem.
belts
Yeah, that was a big
with
thing.
multiple people you can tell story with and rotate in and out. And now they've got that and then some, you know?
Mhm.
And they've got that set up on NXT.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They've got the NXT tag titles, they've got the NXT championship, and they've got the North American championship, right?
Mhm.
And they have the women's NXT champion and North American, don't they?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Yep.
It's like just a lot going
It's
on.
a lot.
It's hard for me to
And-
even
but
remember
isn't
who
it funny,
holds
though?
everything.
The difference here too is like there's so many belts on WWE, but they're all you can follow them all because they're doing a good job with all the belts now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They've got good people in them doing good shit with them. Look at LA Knight, dude.
Yep.
Every time he comes out, he still gets like giant crowd pops.
Yeah, and it's weird because I don't know where he's really going with his storyline. It's like weird because he was starting like a thing with Shinsuke, and like
Yeah,
that hasn't really gone anywhere. And LA Knight has always been weird. It's like a weird floating around thing that he's been doing for years.
Because everybody knows he's gotta be feuding for a world title yesterday.
Well,
And
yeah,
they're just waiting. They don't want to wait forever, but they've already got stuff in motion
Mhm.
that
Well-
they're just waiting to wrap that up, and he's going right in.
I always hear a lot of shit about like people criticize him for like they think he's like Austin and The Rock like fused, and you're like,
That's so dead and buried.
you're
No.
like, how does
Yeah.
that work? So like a guy that has charisma is the Austin and The Rock fused? That doesn't make any sense.
What I want to see bad, I want to see Ricky Starks come out in the Rumble
Yeah,
bad, and I want to see Ricky Starks feud with LA Knight.
I would rather see Ricky show up at the Royal Rumble.
What?
Kevin Owens, tag team partner there.
Ricky, yeah,
Yeah.
Ricky. I get what you mean now.
That guy
the
needs to show
real
up.
Ricky,
The hairy chest guy.
yeah, who he stomped out.
Yeah.
He goes, "Sorry, brother, he's back in.
Yeah, because
You're
Orton
out.
showed up.
Get out of the ring." They just stomp
Yeah,
him out.
that
throw him
guy
out.
needs to show up at the Rumble.
Oh no.
It's been a long time since that, and I wish they would have capitalized on Ricky.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
'Cause-
If Jericho was involved, which Jericho is a whole different topic, we don't have to go near Jericho right now because it's not great
We
these
did
days.
that last time. Yeah.
But Jericho with Ralphus was just a stroke of genius.
Mhm.
Stroke of genius. He's like, I just found this dude with a gut on the street and was like, want to be my security? And the guy was like, yeah, oh yeah, sure. How much you pay me or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, $50. He's like, I'll do it. Have
Yep.
your gut out
Deal.
though.
Gut has to be
yeah,
out.
Deal. Yeah. It was genius. It was genius. And he said the dude was wicked nice and he tried to stay in touch with him and stuff. Rip. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Ralphus, bro. Yeah.
Let's see.
Not that it's funny that he's passed away, but just super random
No, it's
that
just
he
a
came up.
Yeah, it's just a random
And
fucking.
a great all-time, like, random thing that happened in wrestling.
Well, Jericho like just can do whatever he wants and turn it into something gold.
Yeah.
He's not lately. but
Not lately.
Did you see there was
but
like
traditionally
it was like a
big
year
time,
ago.
yeah.
I don't know if it was like a year ago, but it was like within the past year. He like had a spot backstage where he like drove a forklift through a wall or some shit.
Dude, and
It's like,
he'll
why
get-
are we doing this, man? Like, why? It doesn't make any sense.
I love Jericho. I think he's legit one of the greatest ever.
He is.
And I think that it's starting to finally feel for the first time in his career
yeah.
like he's getting close to where it is time to call it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and he
It's-
has to
yeah.
start recognizing.
He's
it.
got to know. And that it's not a knock on him. The dude's had one of the craziest runs ever.
No,
And
yeah,
he's been great for AEW.
right.
It's just starting to finally feel like, hey, man, it might be time soon.
Yeah,
And I hope they get him out of what he's doing right now and give him something with a
don't
little
think
bit more
they-
respect to his legacy to end with. When it's time. It's
Yeah.
time, you know?
well,
'Cause he deserves
AEW, it's just tough for them because they need to build their own talent. And if you have Jericho, you don't need to build, like, you have talent there already.
Yeah, yes.
But like,
and he's tried.
it's getting to the
He's
point
tried, from what I understand. Like, he feuded with Orange Cassidy and had a good feud with
Yeah.
him. That was actually
where he's just
really
trying to give guys the
entertaining
rub. That was always the
Yeah.
idea, I think, was him
was
going
give
over there
guys the
anyway.
rub.
Yeah,
Yeah.
was try and boost some of these guys. And that
But
was
when
the idea,
you're-
but I don't think the execution's great right now.
And that's not on him. That's not on Jericho.
No.
If you give
Now-
a guy a rub and then they go, let's take him off TV for 6 months.
Here's
for no
one
reason.
thing I gotta
Mhm.
say that one of the best things I've seen the last couple weeks came from AEW.
Which was what?
It was Toni Storm.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
dude, that was absolutely fucking
She's
awesome.
The best thing about AEW.
It's not
by
even close.
miles.
It's not
It's
close.
not close.
That is a standalone storyline that I will watch AEW
Yep.
for.
Yeah, oh yeah. You cannot miss Timeless Toni Storm. If there's only one thing in AEW you're following, because the rest is so tough to follow right now, it just is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Then Timeless Toni
Do you think
Storm
they'll-
is must watch, dude.
Do you
That's
think
the best
AEW
story
would come
maybe
after
they've
us
ever
if we
done.
showed it?
I don't know.
Well,
if I
we don't make
care.
any money anyway.
Yeah.
I talked to them. They said it was fine.
I bet that's real. Yeah, it sounds real.
I mean, they have no idea.
Yeah, Timeless Toni Storm is absolutely the best thing that AEW has created, in my opinion. She is the best thing. And not even necessarily Timeless Toni, just the career trajectory of Toni Storm
Yeah.
in AEW
We're not watching
is such a
8
different
minutes of
level.
this.
Oh, God, no. Yeah, she's in full character.
There we go. So like she's basically playing a character.
She's playing a character that's playing a character of her old character.
Yeah.
Acting like she's like happy to be here. I can't believe I'm getting my first world title chance and stuff. And then of course Mariah
You
May,
got,
who's
you know,
also
the old-
fantastic in this.
She has been
storyline.
great, yeah.
She's a big part of this whole thing.
So, oh, dude, it just blew my mind.
It's literally right. It's like, yeah, yep, right here.
right here.
Makes
This is what
you
we want.
think that I've forgotten.
Dude, the crowd. This is the biggest thing the crowd reacted to all night.
It's on
too.
Collision too. It's not
Yeah.
even on like a big show.
Yeah, she is just on another level compared to
Makes you
everybody
think
there.
Our dance is done.
Shocker. The best thing happening in AEW is storyline work.
Every drop
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, crazy.
I will feel
I can't
forever.
believe it.
You actually have to put that on the calendar.
But now, it's my moment in the sun.
Her delivery here is
Dude,
perfect.
unbelievable.
So good.
They say the hardest role you will ever play is yourself.
It's so good. The crowd goes nuts.
It's the performance of a lifetime. Mariah May, you may be the woman from hell, but you came from my womb, and I will shove you back up there and spit you out. For I am timeless, timeless, timeless Toni Storm, and I'm gonna rip your tits off.
So good.
Holy shit.
So good. Literally the best thing happening in AEW right now. It's not even close.
The fans are going crazy. Yes.
And here's the sad part.
Toni Storm.
Well, I'll tell you right now, they got to hold on to her with every single finger they have because it's not even close.
Throw the bank at her.
Yeah.
And here's the sad part too. You know where this segment should be? The main event of the whole company.
Yeah, yeah.
This is your bloodline story if they have one. You know what is not anything to do with the Death Riders? Like, you've got to get that out of there and make this your absolute main attraction above anything anybody else is doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's not even close.
I just
it's
think you give her a blank checkbook and you just go like...
And you go, I'm begging you, carry us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She already has been carrying.
I mean, yeah.
Straight up.
The whole story arc has been great for like 2 fucking years.
2 years of just perfection with her.
Oh, dude.
If they don't, if AEW fucks it up and she comes back to WWE as Timeless Toni Storm, oh my God, she's instantly going to be world champ, like one of the best of all time.
Yeah, and AEW like collapses immediately.
They're trying to collapse right now anyways. I legit am getting to a point with them where, and I want to love it, and I'm legit thinking like, is this a money laundering scheme we don't know about? like I'm dead serious. Like, what is going on? Because it's the worst it's ever been right now. It's so bad. It's unignorable how bad it is.
I don't get why this is on Collision.
What? This should be the
Collision's
final
like
segment of whatever your biggest show is.
Put it on Dynamite or something.
Dynamite main event credits right there. Credits of the show on the biggest, whatever your biggest thing is. This is your spot where where WWE's been doing bloodline stuff for the past.
I just don't get why they decided to do that. Collision is like an hour-long show, isn't it? It's like their minor show. I
believe so, but it's, dude, what show of theirs is their major show now?
I thought it was Dynamite, but
right? I thought it was too.
I don't know.
Whatever this is on, that's your main show now.
Yeah. Whatever Toni Storm is on,
that's the main
is immediately
show.
The show you watch.
Everything else going on doesn't even come close to what they're doing with Toni.
Yeah, I don't know. Something, she just has it, you know?
Yep. It's not, there's no question. And there's nobody that sees what she's doing. She's the number one person I've seen that all of the section of the fan base who hates story and just wants matches that happen for no reason with 8,000 chops, and everybody stands outside on camera looking, waiting to catch guy A that jumps. Yeah. Then when he jumps, they all wait for guy B to jump. And everybody that just wants that style of wrestling, they don't have a fucking bad thing to say about Toni because she's undeniable. Yeah. Undeniable. And meanwhile, she's not doing any of that stupid shit, and it's all character work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, it's fucking great. It's one thing you don't see from AEW, and that's why it's like so.
And maybe that's why it's so refreshing.
It grabs your attention. Yeah. But it is really good too. So
having said that, Kenny Omega's back.
Kenny Omega.
I want to be hyped for that. What are they going to do with it? Are they going to have him do a moonsault off rigging and not get it on camera on live TV? Because that's what actually happened.
That's actually possible.
That's good. Yeah, good production there.
Didn't Samoa Joe just return too recently?
He did, yeah. And he's always a factor, no matter what.
Samoa Joe's great.
He's just too good.
Yeah, I was always like iffy on Joe, and then like after his like TNA run, I was like, wow,
oh my
this
God.
guy fucking.
He's one of the few guys I actually knew about from like him and AJ Styles.
You know
and stuff.
who's
you
honestly?
Just had to.
I think another guy that's really underappreciated is Solo Sikoa.
Mm-hmm.
He has carried a hell of a lot of that fucking story,
and he's had a lot of pressure on him, a lot, and has absolutely stepped up.
And he's believable now.
Who else has come in that is? They came into NXT for 5 seconds, instantly got brought to the bloodline, and went, you're thrown into the biggest story. And they went, we're going to instant turn you into a Lesnar level feared guy first. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to actually take over the bloodline and be on the mic and have to carry the weight.
The cool thing now is going to be seeing the fracture between the new bloodline.
Oh, it's all going
because I want to see Fatu and Solo Sikoa go at it.
And Jacob
That's what I wanna
Fatu
see.
at some point is gonna go.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? He's gonna bane it.
He's
gonna
well, you
bane
can
it,
tell.
and he's gonna set his hand on Solo's neck and go, "Who's in control?
Yeah.
It's coming, dude."
They've done like they're slightly hinting at they're building Jacob Fatu's character. You
Yes.
can see it week after week.
Yeah.
And
He's the most exciting guy in that whole. It's like not a knock on Solo. Solo's been incredible.
Yeah.
All the props in the world.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu is the current guy in all of that everybody's just going,
Wait
I
until
gotta
that
see
guy.
this guy have a match with everybody.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just waiting to take the chains off of him.
I got it. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I was thinking that the other day because I don't know. I went back and watched some. I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, I was watching Impaulsive, because
Who do you have on?
Paul Heyman was on,
That's
and it
cool.
was really good.
Oh,
Hearing
shocker.
Paul Heyman talk about like the way he approaches every time he talks on the mic, like the way it's formulaic, and he breaks it down. And he goes like, well, you just do this, and then there's a little build, and then there's a pause, and then you like start thinking about it, and you're like, oh shit, he does do that every single time, and
Yep.
it works every single time.
Yep.
Because the dude is an absolute. That guy is one of the biggest, like, one of the best minds in wrestling. That
Heyman?
guy is. Yeah.
Heyman's one of the most important single human
Just-
beings
Yeah.
to the wrestling industry ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
And that
no
that
question.
was
Mount
like,
Rushmore guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
dude. I mean, and like, I thought that was a great podcast. That's a good listen. Listen to
Yeah.
that.
Dude, Impaulsive. When
It's
Logan
become a
has
wrestling podcast.
wrestling guys on,
Yeah.
it's must watch.
Yeah, it has actually become.
We've talked about it before, but like when he had Dom on and Dom trolled him
Yeah.
about Japan.
Yeah,
It's just so, dude. Dom is just so. I can't say enough about how much I love Dominic Mysterio.
yeah.
He's like one of my favorite
It
guys.
was
right
cool
now, but
seeing him
yes.
talk to Logan about, because he basically knows that Logan has.
Talk about Heyman.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yes.
he knows that Logan has like this. He has like an innate talent, right? Like
yeah.
he does have the ability to be one of the best ever.
You talking about Logan?
Yes, and
Undeniable.
it's
He just has to
and
lock in.
Paul Heyman sees that. It's really cool listening to Heyman try to like tell him to guide him in the right direction at that stage of Logan's life, because
Yes.
it's not like he's been a wrestler his entire life. So now, Paul Heyman, I think, has worked with a lot of guys that have been wrestlers, right? Logan Paul is just an entertainer that wants to be a wrestler.
Who got bit by the wrestling bug and now he's
Yeah.
obsessed.
And now, if you can listen to Paul Heyman and everything he says, just do that and only do that.
Yep. Just whatever he tells. If he tells you, I know this is going to sound weird, you don't eat broccoli ever again. So you go home, all the broccoli. You tell your chef and shit, broccoli's done.
It's off
don't
the menu.
ask. You
Yeah.
just get it off the menu.
Yep.
You'll thank me later. And one day, 20 years from now, you're going to wake up and it's going to go in the back of your head and you're going to go, how'd he know? How'd he know that
Yeah.
that was a big factor?
Yeah.
Don't question. Just whatever
follow
Heyman tells
Paul
you,
Heyman.
you're going to do it.
Yeah. That's a good watch. Definitely watch that one. It's a good
Yeah, hell yeah.
recommendation. I saw it on my feed or something, and I couldn't click fast enough. You see Paul Heyman talking, you're like, I
Yep.
got him.
I just saw Jordan Grace on Chris Van Vliet, and that's also a very good watch. Very good watch. I'm telling you, man, she's coming. She's coming
Yeah.
to WWE, and it's going to be huge. She's going to be a big deal, man.
Yeah, I think this TNA deal is going to get more extreme, and there's going to be a little more crossover.
It's going to be so. I can't wait. It's so exciting. So exciting to see all the options.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some WWE people going over there as well.
Yeah.
The difference is, I believe the deal is not between full bore WWE and TNA. I believe it's specifically NXT and TNA, which is fair. I don't
Mhm.
think, like, people are like, oh, that's shitty to TNA. No, it's not. How is that shitty? NXT is on cable. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's big exposure across the board, period.
It's it's interesting. Like, I feel like I might have said this on the podcast when you were here. I just feel like AEW wants to compete with WWE, and I feel like their target shouldn't be WWE.
No.
Their
No,
target
no.
should be TNA and Major League Wrestling and
Yeah.
those type of, like, beat those guys. Worry about that.
Like,
Or
I
just don't compete at all.
Yeah, I
Or
can't
don't
remember
compete,
if I
yeah.
mentioned this or not, but like we had talked about it when I was here last, and then also it's like every year where you get people like, soccer is going to take over the NFL, the NBA is going to take over the NFL. It's like, you're not going to do that. So how about you
not
just
in the U.S.?
no? How about you
chance.
just try and take over whatever your time slot is first?
Yeah.
Just do your thing the best you can.
Because
Why-
like, what isn't AEW already on different days?
It's
Yeah.
on like three different
It's
days.
already on different days, and it's not like they just got that deal with Max. Turn Max into what Peacock is doing with WWE
Literally,
right now.
yeah.
Put
Yesterday,
Everything you have on there.
whole library,
Make
you
it
better
accessible.
have it, and it better be on there.
That's
yeah.
when we knew that the WWE was going to be able to take off and go an extra level as soon as the WWE Network became a thing and
that's true.
everything became available.
Absolutely,
That was it. That was
Yep.
absolutely
And
it.
they were already huge, but that was such a necessary move towards global.
And
Yeah.
just think about, even if you don't get new fans, think about all the people that you get that will stay as fans.
Oh,
And also just,
Bigger fans for life.
yeah, or
Yeah.
even just imagine people that are like, I'll be able to watch whatever old thing I want.
Mhm.
Anything. You just
Yeah.
think of it, it's there. That's just, there isn't really anything
The
else
amount-
out there that's doing that.
Dude,
Still.
Yeah.
I hope that WWE continues to do the additional programming they're doing, though. I don't see them stopping. I don't see them
No.
stopping that.
Well,
Because, they have NXT, they have SmackDown Raw, they have pay-per-views. They're doing Saturday Night Main Event, which is really cool.
that is
Mhm.
cool.
and
it-
that's more like
what do they do
Raw
once a
or
month? Is that like
SmackDown.
once a month now or
Yeah,
what?
and that's how it used to be. And it would be, and this is before my time.
Yeah.
This is before my time, candidly. When I started watching wrestling as a young child, like 4, Raw was like about to start
Yeah.
or just started. So I only really know the time of Raw. But as far as I know, Saturday Night's Main Event was their flagship show before Raw. They'd have pay-per-views.
Okay, right.
But that would be where you'd get interviews and stuff, and you'd have some squash matches to kind of pump up guys, Yeah, Ultimate Warrior smush a dude in 2 minutes or whatever, and probably break his arm or some shit.
Yeah.
You just toss him around and hurt him, and then go fuck that jobber. But you'd always get a couple good matches at the end and stuff,
Yeah.
and that was like the setup. So I love that they brought that back, and they're kind of treating it the same way.
I like the way, well, they're treating it like main event is like where the big match happens. And then they're kind of like allowing the main shows to carry the storylines.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly what you want.
And then
If
it's
you-
also going to be like whoever isn't going to be on the pay-per-view, it's like the next tier
Yeah.
of dudes.
And you can do
Or it's
Saturday Night
both.
Main Event.
Yeah, or it's both.
Yeah, and Saturday Night Main Event is cool because you can do some story stuff, but
Yeah.
you can still have the main event match be like a legit big match.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
a pay-per-view level match for a title or something, And that's a great spot.
And what it does is it allows for you to use those like SmackDown and Raw
Mhm.
as just like storyline building shows.
Perfect.
That's it.
Perfect. Yep.
You don't have to worry about putting on a 5-star match on
Nope.
SmackDown and Raw. Put it on the main event when
Yeah.
you do it on Saturday.
Yep. And what was I gonna just say? What I mean by, and that's all cool, but the stuff I want them to keep doing is like the WWE Vault on
Yeah.
YouTube is
Yeah.
unbelievable,
Yeah.
and just the extra content that they used to do for the network. Like one of my favorite things they ever did on the network, which they can't do now for
They did
obvious
do
reasons,
a lot of stuff
Can't
for
for
was
the network.
WWE.
the Edge and Christian show
Yes.
that totally reeks
Yeah.
of awesomeness.
Yes.
It's one of the best WWE.
Well, a lot
produced
of the
things
stuff they
ever.
did for the network like kind of disappeared because
Yep.
when they moved to Peacock, it felt like a lot of it was like kind of thrown to
Scrubbed.
the
What
side.
was it? The EACSTTROA?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that show was incredible,
Mhm.
man. I loved it. I loved that show. But the point is I hope that wherever they end up, Netflix, Peacock, whatever kind of stuff they have going on,
Yeah.
wherever they decide to keep things, because we don't know if they're gonna. They might stay on Peacock
Or put
and
things
keep
on
that
Netflix.
as their like network and just have Raw on Netflix. We don't know. We don't know where that's gonna go.
That's what I'm hoping.
Well, the
for.
WWE Network is like it is a thing overseas. Like we
Well,
don't,
I believe
in the
they're
US,
closing it down now
really.
because it's all on Peacock.
Well, it's weird because like it only existed for like a year or two.
It's sad. They should
Because
have never
they
gotten
moved to
rid of
Peacock quick. I thought they
But-
should have just kept it WWE Network, but it's like
it. They should have, but it
I'm
was
I'm assuming
$10.
it's an exposure thing. Like
Yeah.
it probably gets more eyes on Peacock.
by joining with Peacock, and
Yeah.
it's in Peacock's only like what? It was only $5
$5.
at the time. So it's like, yeah, of course, that's a no-brainer to me.
But-
I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
actually
you're right,
cheaper.
though. It was cheaper for Peacock than the network, and you got the network.
you got
and
Peacock. Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, to me, that's obvious. You just do that, and that's cool. However,
yeah.
the whole point I'm making is I just hope they keep doing that extra stuff, the interview shows, the biographies.
Right.
I want them to bring back Legends of Wrestling
Yeah.
bad.
Oh,
the
yeah.
roundtable discussions about topics like hardest badasses or whatever. And it's like fucking old timers sitting around smoking cigars and drinking whiskey.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking about who the hardest dudes of their day were. You know what I mean?
That is cool.
Those shows were cool, and it doesn't. That's not like every episode. Like one of the best episodes is just they had Kevin Nash on, and he's talking about the NWO and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just do that. You
And a
know,
lot of that stuff was pretty transparent. Like I think now they're getting to the point where like they're being a lot more transparent with things,
which
and
I love.
they
Same.
can like they can be out of character
Yes.
and it's not like breaking anything.
The Netflix cold open they did. Well, cold open. That's not what I mean. But the Netflix open they did with the screen,
Yeah.
talking about
Way
like
too
they
cool.
tell
Yeah.
you it's a work.
And Triple
This
H
is
is like
about the face and the heel, and then
Yeah.
it drops, and it's Triple H. To me, I was like emotional watching that,
Yeah.
and thought that was one of the most important like 5 minutes in wrestling history.
Yes. Yeah.
Flat out. And I feel like it got criticism from people that were like, why don't you just tell them it's fake? It is.
Yeah,
It's
like
fucking
what are you
fake.
talking about? They know that.
We know.
We saw it together.
Yeah,
we
stop.
watched it.
Yeah.
We watched it. That was the first episode.
Like,
I don't
And,
get that. Like there's yeah.
it's way cooler. Like that was legit one of the greatest things I've ever seen, dude.
I just don't get it's like the secrets of the business aren't a secret anymore.
No,
It
they
just
haven't
isn't.
been since like the Attitude Era. We started to know, and now there's social media,
Yeah.
and so I just love. That's one of the
It
smartest.
opens
things that
up
Triple
social
H has
media
done.
too for a lot of these guys.
Wide open, dude. Triple H. They just posted on WWE and stuff. Him on the phone with Speed, going, "You come to Rumble and you can live stream on your Twitch stream and shit,
Mhm.
and just walk around backstage. You can hang out next to me in gorilla position. We have literally never seen that.
Yeah.
If you watch the Twitch stream of Speed, you're gonna get to see during production." Gorilla position WWE.
That's
that
so
has
cool.
never been shown. You'd have to kill me to stop me from watching that. As somebody who's been watching wrestling hard since I was like 4,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we want to know
I've never
we
seen it.
want to know
I'm
them.
36.
Yeah, yeah.
I must see that.
Yeah, we want to see the back scene,
Yep.
behind the scene.
It
I
doesn't
love-
hurt the product.
No,
at
it
all.
doesn't. And then there's like videos of like Triple H working with like Nakamura on his entrance or
Yep.
whatever, and he's
Love
like,
it.
"We need the lights
Love it.
here, and like you need to be loaded here."
Mhm.
And it's like, dude, this is the perfect type of behind the scenes shit that like everybody
Oh.
wanted to see it. No
Yep.
one said no, please don't show me that. Like
Nope,
who?
everyone's been
who's
begging
saying
for it
that?
forever. We want to know. We want to know. And it's like people like us get to even have our show because I've never worked in the industry. None of us have ever worked in the industry,
No.
but the industry is such a huge part of my life. I've been following wrestling hard since
Yeah,
I
and
was
it's like, I wanna
my
know more
earliest
about it.
memories. So like
The more I can learn about it, the better. You know.
I feel like I know anything about wrestling, and it's not because I just am some delusional prick who thinks I know everything about wrestling.
Yeah.
I know enough to know that I know nothing compared to the guys that live it every day of their lives in the industry. And I have infinite respect for them and a thank you to them for being willing to show the stuff they do so that people like us know as much as we do.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And coming from myself as a delusional prick that thinks he knows a lot about basketball, that knows he doesn't know shit about wrestling, one of the things I always worry about is that the more we get like mask off and behind the scenes is like one of my thoughts is, well, does the magic disappear? And I'm here to answer that for everybody.
Yeah.
No.
Fuck
It
no.
does not.
Look at WrestleMania 40 with Cody. It's one of the greatest moments in wrestling history.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could even just point to you think about the first time that I saw, I don't know if we've all been to live wrestling events. The first time I ever saw the actual WWE ring,
like in
person, I bawled my eyes out. And I'm not even that huge of a fan. And even now, like we saw when we were watching Raw, or it was the Raw or SmackDown when Biker Taker came out. Literally, the entire room of adults that were having a conversation just went silent. You could hear a mouse piss on yarn, dude.
Yep,
because Undertaker, the gong hit mid-syllable. It just went. Even the dog stopped barking.
Yeah,
dude. Like
everybody's
like,
glued on the screen.
So people that say they're worried about like learning too much about it, it doesn't.
No.
There's two parts. There's two parts of it. There's two parts of it.
There's so much room for you to have people that know everything there is to know about it, and it will never matter because they're fans.
And we know what it is.
Have you give them the magic?
Yeah, and the biggest thing is we know it's a show. Like we want to see behind the scenes. It's just like with any show that we watch.
It's
like when I watch Seinfeld, it's like I want to see bloopers or something. Like that's fun to watch. You know, like
Seinfeld was live.
Seinfeld.
What?
No, is it live? It was a studio audience.
Well, that doesn't.
That doesn't count.
Come on.
Oh, it's not like an SNL.
But it does count though. Here's the thing.
SNL is.
That's not even what we're talking about. Like live and tape doesn't really matter as much as it's just the fact that you're watching a show that's a written fiction.
Yeah.
And then you want to see behind the scenes interviews with guys and stuff. You want to see behind the curtain.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt it's like it's not like Wizard of Oz. Everybody always says like they're afraid of the Wizard of Oz effect, where if you see behind the curtain and you see that it's just some dude we've already had that curtain ripped down, burned, and have had people that have never been in the business running the machine.
Yeah.
So like it's not gonna be a problem, you know?
Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's like I want to just always. That's the comparison to me. It's like if I watch Sunny, I want to watch bloopers. Like that sometimes is funnier to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I think sometimes the backstage, like that stuff grabs me sometimes more than what's actually presented as the show.
In wrestling, there's a lot of guys. Like Eric Bischoff says all the time that, and you know, it is what it is. He's been in the industry for decades, so he's in a different spot than anybody we know.
Yeah.
But he's always open about how like the storylines and stuff, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. He's way more intrigued by the actual business because of the insight he has. And so he's not even worried about whether it's a work or a shoot or any of that stuff.
Right.
He's like, I want to know what their attendance was and shit. And that just shows you there's so much to it, that there's stuff there for everybody. You know what I mean? There's stuff there for everybody.
Yeah. We got to get Bischoff on the show.
Oh my God.
It's one of those things where
I would love to talk to Bischoff.
The more popular it gets, like it's just gonna get bigger, especially now that it's on Netflix. And it's, instead of getting nervous about it, I'm like literally getting goosebumps thinking about like what is next.
Yeah.
This year is gonna be fucking insane, and it's gonna be this is gonna be the worst. This is gonna be the best year in a long time, but it's also gonna be the worst year for a while. If that makes sense.
It does.
Like it's only going to get better from here.
Yes.
Which is crazy to think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already bought in 100%, just the move to Netflix and then Penta's debut. The fucking, when I was on here the last time. It was literally pretty much a live reaction to him doing the front flip pile driver, which everyone knows is my favorite thing in the world. And I
Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
Mexican Destroyer. Which is fair.
Either
That's
or.
fair.
I didn't know what to call it. I picked the 2K, the 2K name. Yeah, the Canadian Destroyer. Yeah. But yeah, lost my mind. And that's like the magic will never leave, because I see a wrestler I've never seen before do a Canadian Destroyer, and immediately I'm screaming.
And
I'm almost 30.
And here's a really good point I just thought of to that too. Part of what it gave me personally, as someone who's watched it my entire life, is a different level of appreciation for the wrestlers.
Yep.
Because they're no longer just a character to me. They are both the character they play in the ring and the real person behind the scenes, and what it takes from them to do it.
Yeah.
How hard the job is, and how high risk it is.
It also shows you like the contrast between who they are and who their character is.
I have such a ridiculous amount of respect for like 99% of pro wrestlers, because of how much I know now about how hard that job is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where it's like so few people in the world can do what they do at the level they do it.
It isn't easy to do. So
No. And deal with the fame.
it takes a lot of dude, they go through a lot of training for this.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing too
it's their
is
whole life. They're always developing.
Yeah.
I never learned until I was older that it's not like you just are on Raw or you just are on SmackDown. You're doing shows almost every day, more days often than not.
At one point, they have finally started to chill out on the live show schedule.
Well, and that's why you
good.
don't see like the same storyline twice in 2 weeks. So like
That's right.
It's really cool because I just watched Drew McIntyre and Sheamus on Hot Ones. They did like Hot Ones versus.
I watched it. That was awesome.
And one of them was like, "You're off for the next whatever days," and it's like they have separate schedule. Like they all have separate schedules.
Yes,
because it's like this guy doesn't work until Raw the next week or whatever.
Yep,
and that is really good for these guys because it's way more time off.
He gets to fucking be home and raise a family. And shit.
Mm-hmm.
Triple H being in charge, that's a big deal to him. They pre-taped a show that was supposed to be around Christmas because he was like, I'm not making these guys be away from their families on Christmas. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Go be with you. Like, you deserve to be with your families.
Mm-hmm.
Go be with your families. We'll pre-tape. We'll play the pre-tape. Who cares?
Yeah.
What a legend, dude.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you one thing.
There couldn't be a better person.
He's going into the Hall of Fame. And
And
that's
Triple H
huge.
now, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Solo.
That's huge. I can't believe that even wasn't the thing for the first.
I was
it's right
shocked.
Way beyond overdue.
Because he was originally only in with DX, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not enough. Not for
That's
this
weird.
guy.
That's like a dream team sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing
So-
for me is this is like, so it's encouraging to talent. Like it makes talent want to come to you when
Yes.
your schedule is more lenient like this.
Yep.
And I think that's been a huge stigma against WWE for a long time, is that you have the schedule is just a fucking absolute nightmare. It's a
Because it
slog.
was for 30 years.
Yeah.
If not longer.
And so
I
if
mean,
you
dude,
can loosen that and say, here, like, you're going to have more fun because you don't have to do it as much.
Yeah.
And when you do, we have more time to think about things like where things are going to be going.
Yeah.
It gives them as creative more time to think about these storylines too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, they argue that the flip side would be that people aren't getting as many reps in the ring, so that you won't develop as much. But I would
Some
argue
guys
that's
don't
not
need
true
to. Some
because
guys don't need to
A
develop.
lot of guys don't need to, and the ones that do can live at the fucking performance center and
Right,
go, oh, I'm
right.
working with Shawn Michaels whenever I want. Okay, I bet you're gonna get good at wrestling if
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels is anywhere in the building.
It's like, and the
You
guys
know?
that do need the boost and the guys that need more the reps can be on the shows.
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
that's
have
what you
fun with it.
want though, because it
Yep.
helps you build the younger talent.
You know who doesn't need to be on the air every week? Guys like fucking AJ Styles and shit.
Right.
Who, when they show up, take a guess if he's going to be perfect Oh, I bet he
Right.
is.
And that's the thing. Look at CM Punk. He's only
Yeah.
been
Yep.
he's only been out there for promos most of the time, and he's
Yep.
doing matches once in a while. But
Yeah.
he's on the show, staying in people's mind, and he doesn't need to like
He doesn't need to wrestle.
work on his chops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you
Is,
have the
is getting ready to work out with HBK for the afternoon the coolest honey I have to go moment that you could think of?
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be up there, right? Like you're on the phone and you're like,
Oh,
walking.
sorry, Dave.
Honey, I gotta go. I'm gonna go work out with Shawn Michaels for a few hours.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Like,
we're
is there
doing,
a cooler "Honey, I gotta go" moment?
we have finished. Yeah, it's like, hey, babe, I'm sorry, I'll call you back in an hour. We're about to start finishing class with Sean.
yeah,
And you go,
yeah.
and it's him being like, okay, so you're already in NXT, you're already on TV, and we're trying to prep you for main event level work. So
Yeah.
you're with Sean. What? Like, you've already made it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Can't even imagine, dude.
yeah.
Yeah.
The only cooler "Honey, I gotta go" moment would be, "Honey, I gotta go. I'm gonna go do a Canadian destroyer on Shawn Michaels." That's the only way that is cooler. I'm gonna try to
You're
do a
gonna
Canadian
try to do it.
destroyer.
Yeah.
the only other thing I really wanted to mention, I guess, was Joe Hendry calling out John Cena. That
I
was
thought you were gonna
interesting.
mention what you had sent me earlier.
Dude.
What
Joe
did I send
Hendry
you
calling
earlier?
out Cena.
Enzo Amore.
Oh yeah, that was interesting too. So Enzo shot this little thing.
Was that in? It looked
I
like he
d-
was in Syracuse.
I
I
don't
legit
know.
think he was in the middle. He was in the
Here's
middle.
the
of,
problem. Here's the problem I have with Enzo.
It's
That would be incredible,
Yep.
but he has a known history of trying to capitalize on WWE events to keep himself in people's minds
Relevancy.
by just posting random shit, hinting at stuff, and then you never see him.
mhm.
So
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think that you're going to be honest with you.
But how insane!
But-
Could you
It
imagine
would
if he
be
came out in the
such
Rumble?
it would be,
Oh.
and like it's a good time for it. I think.
Yeah,
like,
I think so.
He just brings so much charisma.
And he did clear his name. Definitively.
Yeah, that's fair.
There is absolutely nothing on that guy.
And people don't like that, but like I don't know, the way things are shifting now, people are like more willing to try and give people another chance. It seems like
I
like-
think people just, how do you deny how good he was on the mic?
it's not deniable.
His mic and character work was as
I
good
think they're
as any
seeing-
main eventer you've ever seen.
I think you look back at it and you're like, wow, this guy was really good.
Dude, their
wanna see
debut is
more
my
of him,
favorite
you
of
know?
all time. Their
Yeah.
debut is
Him
legit.
and Cass
Yeah, against
on
the,
the main roster,
with
dude.
against the Dudley Boys.
That
and
was
that's
so
like
good.
That I can't.
It's
handle
like
it.
you don't, and Cass is with AEW. He's working with
Sure,
Jericho,
yeah. Big
but
Bill
it's
or
like
whatever, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I
like
love
you
him.
don't need him.
No, you don't.
No.
You just need Enzo's
You just
like
need Enzo. You don't need him.
charisma. You know,
Yep. He could totally stand on his own. No question.
even if he just shows up at the Rumble and
That's it.
does like a little promo and goes away forever.
and gets close immediately.
Forever.
I don't even care.
Come,
It's like
walk
I
the
just want to
ramp,
see
chew
the,
out everybody, get the craziest pop ever, get in the ring, and get close on immediately, and then walk
Yeah.
out. Embarrass his ass. Who cares? That would be so huge.
yeah,
But Joe Hendry is the number one guy that absolutely must come out in the Rumble.
yeah,
Facts.
He has to. No question. Has to.
yeah.
Yep.
That's entirely possible too.
Yep.
Especially with this deal. That's
He will get an insane crowd pop
Yeah.
if Hendry debuts at the Rumble.
Penta's in the Rumble too. I don't
Yeah.
have the. We should have pulled up like
Cena.
the list of the
Cena's in the Rumble.
Yeah.
I hope he wins, man.
Cena,
I think
Punk, Rollins.
He kind of has to.
I don't think he will. I think Punk's going to win it this year.
I think
and
Punk is
feud-
going to win
and
too.
feud with Cody for the WWE title.
Yep.
And then I think that Cena will end up maybe, hopefully, winning. I don't see him doing Money in the Bank because it's a ladder match. He's like 49. That's really
Yeah.
dangerous. But I could see him winning Elimination Chamber and getting a title shot that way.
Yeah, I definitely see Punk winning that. That storyline just seems
The
to
Rumble?
Be,
It's
Yeah, it seems to
it's
be-
made. It's
It'd be
made to
awesome.
happen, yeah.
it seems to be like lining up that way, especially after that promo he did where he's pointing
Yeah.
at like where the
I think they
WrestleMania
should
sign
too.
would be and all
you
this
don't,
shit.
You
And
do not need to have the bloodline stuff main eventing.
Well, they've been
this year.
talking so much
No.
about like Punk never having his main event. You know,
That
it's
was the
like
time.
you're gonna keep talking about it, and then
Yeah, now
it's
it's
like
the time. And have him do it with Cody.
I'm shocked he never had a main event. I always thought he main evented with Cena.
No.
He just never had one.
No. Can you?
Not a main event. A main event is tough.
How did he not main event Mania with Cena though?
I could have sworn he did.
It's so bonkers to me that he didn't, man.
They probably main evented everything else.
Oh no, he was gonna. Remember, he was going to, and then The Rock came in and went, "That's cute. I'm gonna take Cena now and take your spot." And that's an actual true story.
Yeah.
That's what the pipe bomb came from, right?
No. I
Well,
don't
the
think so.
pipe bomb was like a culmination of a lot of shit. It was
Yeah,
mostly
yeah.
his frustrations, because
Yeah.
he was not getting like the push that he thought he would.
Well,
He should have
he
gotten.
did deserve.
Yeah. Well,
at
he
one
probably
point-
did deserve it.
At one point, he was
But the problem
actually
was-
the best in the world.
Yeah.
The problem is you have John Cena.
I know.
So like
I know. But
have
you
to,
just have him feud, which
It's
they
like- it's
obviously
like-
did, and it was money.
yeah, it's like Lamar Jackson. It's like he should be like the guy, right? But you have Patrick Mahomes that you have to deal with because
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes. It's like when Michael Jordan was playing. It's like you
Yep.
can't have
Reggie Miller.
You
We
can't
were
have
just
another
talking
guy.
about this earlier.
Dude,
Yeah.
I had a whole thing today where I was like, because I know Reggie Miller is one of the greatest NBA players ever. He's the top 75. That's a project I'm working on right now, so that's why I had him brought up. But I was
project.
like, yeah. But I texted our the Ron Artest fan club, and I was
Hell
like,
yeah. That's our basketball chat.
I was like, what's the deal with Reggie Miller? And yeah, Reggie Miller. Now
And
it makes
we were like,
we're full
brother.
circle. We're
Yeah.
full circle. Reggie Miller is the CM Punk to Michael Jordan
Yeah.
Cena.
I don't
And
know if he is.
I don't think he is either.
Because there's like Barkley and shit. You know what I mean?
Olajuwon would be the CM Punk.
The point is, though,
That's the thing is,
Cena's
you can
your
have
Jordan.
both.
That's
Yeah.
all that matters.
Yeah.
Cena was your Jordan, though.
yeah, that's the thing is there's always if there's a guy that's on that level that's above your level.
Eugene was Pippen.
It's like, yeah, CM Punk is great, and he might have been the best
like,
in the business
He
at
could
the
have been
time.
the guy.
But was he the face of the company? It's like, no, he wasn't.
And you're not going to be.
And
you
his
have to
frustration
just-
was exactly what he said. It's like, I'm not on the souvenir cups. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Rollins just recently talked about this with Chris Van Vliet. He was on CVV and he was talking, I think it was on that, but he was talking about how Roman was the guy. And
Yeah.
he was the Cena to his Punk because he was like, I can, would, will, could, whatever, carry the company and be the face of the industry. And then there's this Roman guy.
I would have rather
who's
seen
made
it
to
be.
do it.
I would have rather seen it be Seth Rollins personally.
Me too.
I would argue he
Was.
is kind of
Is carrying it right now.
I always thought that Seth Rollins.
like it's Rollins and Reigns. Like I never saw Reigns as the only Cena guy of his
Right.
era. I just don't think there was one guy.
I never, and he's obviously swayed my opinion lately the past couple years, but I never saw Reigns as a Cena level guy.
Oh,
really.
yeah, he
I mean,
sure is.
he
Yeah,
is. He
yeah.
is now, but like he never had that like must see at first. At least the first half of his reign,
I would
he
say-
wasn't really must see. I
would
was
say
more
the
excited.
Bloodline is
The
what
Bloodline
really
helped,
solidified it.
But for the longest time, I was more excited about Seth and Dean. If we're talking like those three,
the Shield guys.
the Shield guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't
everybody
really
was, I
until the
think.
past like 2 years where Roman really turned it when he came back. When he
Yeah.
got sick and came back.
It was 3 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, 100% agree. The Bloodline stuff is just it solidified his place.
But Seth
as
is
the
just
guy.
Seth is fucking great. Seth
He's
is
one of the greatest ever.
like a second gen CM Punk for me. Like he's just got his own. He's just got.
Dude, he does it. He can do
he's
it
got
all.
He's got
He
his
can do it all.
own
He really
aura,
can.
his own energy. I don't know, man. One of my favorites.
I always love the over the top, like way full of themselves, like overconfident personality.
Miz style guys.
Yeah, and it's like, and I like the flair
he can
too.
lock in and get super real and
Yeah.
cut wicked intense promos, and then he can do all that because
Yeah.
the second he gets in the ring, you go, "Oh yeah, he's one of the best in the world
Right?
now."
Yeah.
It's like Angle could do all this comedy shit.
Yeah.
It didn't hurt him ever because then he got in the ring and you went, "Oh, wait a minute, he's
Yeah.
a god."
That's
Yeah.
why he loved it when people would do the "you suck" chants because he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, say whatever you want, but you're still watching
Yeah.
me, and you're
Wait
still
till
gonna
I
be,
get in.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
still gonna cheer when I win,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
because you're gonna be like, whoa. But yeah, so wicked stoked for the Rumble. We got Chris Rock and Enzo Amore coming back.
Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Chris Rock. Yep, forgot about that. Absolutely
Forgot about Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock.
Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock
teaming.
will be in the final four.
Cedric the Entertainer.
So, what? Is
Cat
he even
Williams.
alive?
Is Cat Williams?
Cedric the
Oh
Entertainer.
yeah, he has to
Oh,
be. He
yeah,
should be.
I mean,
He should be.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would assume he is.
He should be. I hope he
I
is.
will be pissed if he's not.
I'm gonna be bummed out if he's not with us still. Did we just kill Cedric the Entertainer?
No, I don't think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think that is how it works.
No, yeah.
I'm not sure though, to be honest.
No,
Oh,
but for
man.
real, who do you guys have for your
Yeah, who do you think's gonna win? Who do you
the
think?
Rumble?
Yeah.
I have who I think is gonna win, and then I have who I want to win. Who
Yeah,
I
let's
think
hear it.
is gonna win is gonna be CM Punk.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think that is the most logical
I
one.
personally I would agree with that.
I want Cena to win.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really do. Because I think it would be cool
I think that's my same
if it's
choices
one
too.
of those two.
I think it's Punk. I want Cena.
And it's Cena for selfish reasons. Don't get me wrong, because I want to be there to watch our group of people see Cena win the Royal Rumble.
And have it just click in your mind. Oh my God.
This is
He's gonna get a final chance to break the record.
Mm-hmm.
He has
Here's
to
the
break
thing.
the
I don't
record.
think. I think you can have Cena still have that chance.
Yeah,
even if he doesn't
need
win
to
the Rumble.
I agree.
He
I
doesn't-
don't think
he
him
doesn't-
losing the Rumble would hurt it.
And he's won
all.
Rumbles, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think because also the other selfish reason is everybody hated Cena at the time because he won all the time. It'd be really funny because it's
Everybody
his-
wants it so bad now.
Yeah. Everybody wants him to win. Like,
Context is king.
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it's
that's
his
true.
last year, so just like have him do one final sweep. You know, have him
They
pull a
should just.
Djokovic.
What if they just had Cena come back for this last year and they just buried him into the dirt? Like, just
Who
fucking
would,
completely.
who would you want other than Cena and Punk? Who do you think?
Yeah.
I have one more question. We'll get out of here after. It's a quick one.
So maybe Kevin Owens.
That would be nuts.
Kevin Owens has been really,
He's been-
really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
last
big
year.
time.
But here's the thing: he's not going to be in it because he's main eventing the pay per view with Cody in the
Right.
ladder
So
match.
Cody can't. Obviously, Cody wouldn't be in it either.
Nope. Yep. So unfortunately, no Kevin Owens.
But, well, who's confirmed? That's the problem. Is I need to see a list.
Yeah.
But I
that's
got.
fair.
Well, I guess I don't. I guess I could just go with. Honestly, Drew McIntyre wouldn't be a bad move
Ooh,
either.
Mhm.
That would be sick. That would be cool.
I still think it's got to be.
I can
Punk.
tell you who I would like to see too. LA Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I think the crowd would go insane if LA Knight won it.
Yeah, Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That'd be
Also,
interesting.
like full disclosure,
You could convince people with that because
Yeah, you
he's
could.
throwing guys over the top and shit. Like
the best part about the Rumble is that it's awesome no matter what, whoever
Yeah.
wins. That's
Yeah, they've
that's
got
like,
options.
and that's the deepest. I looked at the Royal Rumble roster. I don't remember it off the top of my head, obviously, but I glanced at it, and it's literally like, oh, you just took the 30 best guys, and that's who they're gonna be.
Yeah.
The 20 best guys right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Out of
obviously-
confirmed guys.
So here's my closing question. We
Mm-hmm.
can get out of here after this. Who's the what the fuck why guy you want to see come out in the Rumble?
It's definitely Ricky for one thing, and then
Or like obvious
Come out.
cheesy answer is
Come out.
Boogeyman.
Yeah, I have been saying Boogeyman for
Is that your
fucking
answer?
literally
Boogeyman's
Boogeyman. I had to pull up videos of Boogeyman because nobody at wrestling the other night knew who I was fucking talking about, and I'm like, no, because it's a perfect for
And you know if he comes out, he's putting worms in his mouth. Just when he's going,
yes.
mouthful of
Yeah,
worms.
yeah.
That's all I want. So Boogeyman literally is my fucking answer. I've been all in on.
I don't
just
know.
I cannot wait to. I just want to hear one final time. I am the Boogeyman, and then everything goes black and then red, and then he comes out and then he's out.
Yeah.
But obviously I want.
For me, it's probably, and it's a bummer because it's a current guy. I'm just looking forward to seeing whatever R-Truth is going to cook up for it.
That yes, yeah.
There's just no chance he doesn't.
I
do
think it would
something.
be interesting to see RVD.
Ooh,
That would be wild.
that would be cool.
Um,
And he was recently on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I think RVD would be sick, and
yeah,
he can
he's
still
been
go.
kind of
He
getting
can
his
still
foot in the
go,
door
so-
here, and
Yeah, I think RVD would be a really cool one to see, and the crowd would absolutely fucking explode.
oh my god,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't have to go there, but sometime we've got to talk about how he's one of the most underrated guys ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's one of my favorites ever.
Yeah, he is one of the guys who is super underrated, and he's beloved. But that guy was legit one of the best.
I always used him in video games.
I was
'cause
gonna say
his
SmackDown
moveset-
versus Raw 1, dude. He had the purple,
Yep.
the purple suit.
And here's the
Yeah.
thing.
Nasty.
and
Here's
his
the thing.
moves were awesome.
Yep.
Mhm.
And all you do, you never play another match type. It's just Armageddon 6-man Hell in the Cells, where it's you guys on a team versus 4 NPCs, and it's like Shane McMahon, Pete Gas, Vince McMahon, and like Gerald Briscoe, and you just immediately bust the side out and just throw dudes off the cell and do your finishers through the cell and shit. Yep, been there, spent
need
an
to do
entire
that.
life
I need to do
doing
that.
shit with
The
friends.
old games where you could like
Yeah.
start with like 5 finishers.
Yep, and you're just
Mhm.
doing They can't get them. They
Yeah.
can't get finishers.
Yeah, because you
God, that's
can
the
literally
best.
turn that
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
momentum
Yeah.
thing.
That's the best shit in the world.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for having me on again, guys. It was
Brother, hell yeah.
it was
Wicked
good.
good. Wicked good.
I
Yeah.
didn't really wake up until we got about halfway through, but
Nah, it was great.
we
It was
got
great.
good. But yeah, my closing statement is going to be: we mentioned R-Truth, so I have to say, objectively, R-Truth, greatest career of all time. Wicked jealous. Wish I had his career.
It's one of them, man.
Wicked
One of the
jealous.
best.
Number one, if I could be reincarnated as anybody's
It'd be
life, it'd be
R-Truth.
R-Truth. He's up there.
Can't even imagine how
Yeah.
crazy good it is. I love it. All
Yeah.
right.
So yeah, that's
Baker Mayfield is the other one.
Baker Mayfield. So
Whatever.
yeah, go to w.gg, use our promo code and help us out, please. You can also go to the website. There's all kinds of cool shit there. You know what I mean? Have a good time. Have fun.
Yeah. Hang out at the website.
Hang out.
Just chilling on the website.
And then our Showdown Swap stuff will be uploaded separately, so you
Yeah.
can check all that out.
We'll figure out a
It's also
schedule for
gonna
that. And
still
stuff,
be
and
on the blog and all that stuff, so you can still follow all
Yep.
the matches and
Yeah.
everything.
It's just going to be more
We
content.
just want it to be separate so we can talk about current events on the show.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and if you didn't like having me on here, don't worry, I won't be on all the time. So
Yeah, it was fine. All that mattered is that you actually know the product at all. You watch
Yeah.
wrestling, you know wrestling at all, and you watch it with us. So
Well,
that's the only requisite.
I told Seth, I'm like, I go subconsciously, I turn into a different person when the Clear Shots banner is not up.
Yeah,
Like when it's a different
that makes
banner.
sense.
Oh, the banner does it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Word.
The other chair does it too.
All right, everybody.
Sounds good. Peace out.
We'll see everybody in 2 weeks.
Sounds good, brother.
groovy.
Peace.
Hell yeah.